Hey there, YouTubers and collectors and fans of stretchy figures. I've got a very special video for you today where I'm going to be sharing not only some of my unboxed stretchy figures, some of them you've seen before in other videos, but we're going to unbox some stretchy figures today made by Monsterflex. I had a couple of videos. One was, I think, a Monsterflex Series 1 collection video. The other one was a Monsterflex versus another brand, Beast Battles or something like that. So we're going to look at just some Monsterflex and just want to show you, of course, how it all started with me as far as my love of stretchy figures. Also, some of the comparisons of the corn syrup versus the sand-filled ones. Usually the newer ones are now sand-filled or some sort of granules, not exactly sand like you find on the beach, but some sort of granules like sand or like salt, maybe. But the old school is corn syrup. Now, it all started, of course, with... This is going to be very sad. This is going to be a sad moment. You ready? Look at this. Isn't this like one of the saddest toy sites, toy collecting things you've ever seen? Look at that. So he was just in the bottom of a bag, and the other figures were on top of him. The other stretchy figures were on top of him. And I mean, I don't know if he can be... I mean, I think he might be able to be brought back to life. In fact, I maybe just do a whole video where I just try to bring him back to life. So remember this. Just look at this. The truth is, stretchy figures, in particular if they're syrup-filled, should be played with. You should not just go leave it at the bottom of... When I was a kid, we had a Stretch Armstrong, and somebody left it at the bottom of a toy box. Somebody, not me. Older siblings? Okay, maybe it was me. I don't remember. The point is, bottom of a toy box, all the toys on top, and... I mean, I should be so lucky that this isn't leaking, actually. Corn syrup everywhere. Anyway, take care of your Stretch Armstrong. This is where it all started, guys. Stretch Armstrong. Okay, so now recently... I did a video for Elastigirl. Elastigirl from The Impossibles. The Impossibles? Is that what it's called? I think so. The Impossibles? I forgot where she's from. Let me know in the comments where Elastigirl is from. The Impossibles? This is lame. Okay, but anyway, I did a video. It was well received. I had a great time with her. She is also syrup filled. Unfortunately, I think that they lose some of their... See, I think she's starting to... I don't know. I go through this every time I deal with stretchy figures. When they have corn syrup. See, that's the good news about... Well, let me be clear. I was able to resurrect a smaller Stretch Armstrong. It was a smaller Stretch Armstrong that I was able to resurrect, even though the corn syrup in there, it's been a while. But, oh! I'm always afraid I'm going to damage it, but I guess it's part of the fun. Some of that suspense. Like, you know, I might just wreck this toy if I stretch it. Like, if you stretch it too far, eventually it's going to tear, won't it? There's lots of videos where people are doing horrible things to Stretch Armstrong. I don't recommend it. It's horrible. But there are some cool videos. Okay, so that's done. So then, after the Stretch Armstrong influence on me and the Elastigirl success of that video, I started really falling for stretchy figures, and I stumbled upon Monsterflex. And here is Monsterflex Series 2. These are made by Diramix. Diramix makes Monsterflex. By the way, I'm not supported or endorsed by, or these were not gifted to me. I did purchase these, I believe, at the 99 store. And this is part of a series. Series 2. So we're going to open up Series 2, Series 3 figure, and Series... Okay, so we're going to open 3 Series 2 and 1 Series 3. And that's going to be a special one. So these are all kind of monster-related, hence the name Monsterflex. But horror-related? Well, let me show you. So I got into Monsterflex originally for this guy, Frankenstein, Series 1. And I think he's included in one of my videos. So Series 1, Frankenstein by Monsterflex. Here's where we get into the sand-filled. Now, I didn't like the sand-filled as much as the syrup-filled because they snap back. You know, if it has the syrup, they don't snap back, right? They don't snap back like this. They stretch and then come back slowly. Where is he? Okay, watch that. See that? It's a slow retraction versus a quick... See that? Okay, so there's fun in that, but it's not the same thing. As far as tangibility, it's going to be a little bit different. Anyway, I did fall in love with Frankenstein, first thing. So then I started then getting into the Monsterflex line, did a few videos that were well received as well. So here we are back again. Love this guy. And then Series 3 comes out with a new version. a new version of Frankenstein. So we have a new and an old, Series 1 and Series 3. I don't think Series 2 had one. You know what? Let's go ahead and open this. Let's go ahead and open it. We're here, right? Oh, let me say this. The thing I wanted to mention about Monster Flex was you got to be careful of the packaging. The packaging itself can ruin the figure. The figure can be destroyed by its own packaging. I've seen this with other lines. I've seen this with other toys in years past, and this is the living example of that. The way the packaging was, especially in the early series, it might have been corrected by Series 3 maybe, but Series 1 and 2 for sure, the box itself is kind of sharp. Let me see if you can see that. Right there. Okay, so right here, near the arm, the box itself is sharp and can actually slice into the figure. So I actually lost some figures because the packaging itself, the plastic of the packaging itself actually damaged the figure. So what I did is I started putting little pieces of newspaper underneath here if it's still in package. If they're still in package, put something there. There's got to be a barrier between the arms and the packaging itself to protect it if you're going to leave them in there. Anyway, let's open up Monster Flex Series 3, Frankenstein, compare it to the other one, and let's do some stretching. And also when it comes to plastic, you got to be careful of your own cutting yourself. How about that? Forget about the figure for a second. Don't cut yourself. Imagine if you start bleeding while you open up a figure. That would be terrible. Okay, I'm very excited to open up Frankenstein. And especially since it's Halloween. You know, I felt compelled to do stuff kind of horror related. Scary, spooky, Halloween. Oh, speaking of Halloween, here's a cool, I think this is a Mezco Michael Myers. So cute. Just happened to be here. Okay, so look at that. Oh, it's very cute. And look at him next to the previous release. Well, they're both cool, but I got to say, I really do like this new one. I like the suit. Yeah, because the original Frankenstein, look at it. It looks like Hulk a little bit, right? Somebody can confuse this with Hulk. Hard to confuse this one with Hulk, right? Let's see the stretch. That's what it's all about. Stretching your Monster Flex figures full of sand. I make up songs. Okay, here's what I love about Monster Flex and other figures like Monster Flex. Unlike, as much as I love this guy, as much as I love Stretch Armstrong, what do we see? It's the most apparent thing, I think anyway, aside from the filling, aside from corn syrup and sand or granules, whatever, is the head. Look, you can look at the head. The head is the same as the body. Look at that. You can't do that with Stretch. His head is hard, right? It doesn't stretch like the rest of them. Whereas Monster Flex figures and figures full of sand often do. I don't know if, oh yeah, Gujitsu, you know that Gujitsu line that has the gel-like gelatinous stuff inside, which I like. I have some, in fact, I should have shared some of that. Anyway, I do have some Gujitsu figures. But the point is, I think they have the plastic heads as well, like Stretch Armstrong. So look how cool that is that you can do that. You can stretch the head. I love that. Okay, so that is Frankenstein Series 1 and Series 3 Frankensteins. Those are very cool. Let's open up the pirate. Let's see what he's called. Specifically, he is called Ghost Pirate. Okay, he is a ghost pirate. Skeleton, Series 2, by the way, so we jump back to Series 2. Again, you got to look out for that plastic there. Please, take that as a warning. Take it as a warning. And a smart person adheres to warnings. Trust me, I know. I've made a lot of mistakes in life. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Let's open up the Ghost Pirate. Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't even know he had a peg leg. I didn't even know that. He has a peg leg, an eye patch. He's a skeleton skull head. Okay, let's stretch that head. That's what I'm most excited about, is that you can stretch the head of a stretchy figure. You can stretch the head. Let's stretch that peg leg. Whoop. That almost feels wrong. I'm going to stretch your peg leg. Arg. Okay. Beautiful. Love it. Let's keep moving along here. Okay, now this one here is called Boogeyman. Now, what does this remind you of? What does this remind you of? Ghostface, right? Ghostface. The mask is called Ghostface. The movie called Scream, of course, but it's labeled Boogeyman. By the way, in this series, since we're here, series 2, Gargoyle, Mud Monster, Reptile Man, Wolf Man, Swamp Monster, Bigfoot, Boogeyman, Ghost Pirate, Scarecrow. Scarecrow is really neat. Blue Ninja, Red Ninja, Vampire. I didn't see Vampire anywhere. Did I get Vampire? I don't think so. Glow in the dark figures, Slime Monster, and Zombie. And we do have Zombie here today. So let's open up Boogeyman. Open up the Boogeyman. Oh yeah, I love opening up figures. I really do. It's so satisfying. Very satisfying. You know, that's the thing about the inbox collectors. It's like you'll never have the satisfaction of opening a figure, which is very gratifying. So, do your collection whatever you like. But especially for figures like this, which are all about the tangibility. It's all about feeling them, touching them, stretching them. So satisfying. And I know that there's satisfaction in articulating, traditional action figures with, joint mobility. But the thing about these, you could just, you don't have to worry about damaging these things. You can toss them. You know what you can use these for? I just realized I really like cornhole. Is you can have a cornhole game and use these guys as the bean bags. Imagine that. Instead of bean bags with cornhole, you use stretchy sand-filled figures. Because what is a bean bag but a sand-filled bag? Here you have little figures that can replace those. So that is very, very cool. So there's the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman is a ripoff of Ghostface from the movie Scream. Okay, that's fun. Hey, while we're here, let's check out a few others that I opened up previously. This was like a gummy. I don't know which series this was. It might have been series 3. Was it series 3? I don't know. Could have been series 3. This is like a gummy bear gone bad. The only thing is the face is kind of worn out a little bit. But aside from that, look at that. What I was going to say originally was one of the things about the sand is that I don't feel like when I got Elastigirl, like I don't think I could bring her back. I think even if I got her back, 80%, there's some in there I think it has just hardened. Corn syrup will reach a point where I think it reaches a point of no return. And once it gets to that point, I don't know if there's much you can do with it, because what happens is if you want to heat it up, you say, well, let me do a hairdryer. A hairdryer may not be able to penetrate deep enough. So you maybe say, let's boil some water. Well, once you start getting into the boiling of water, I don't know. I'm a little overly cautious to start boiling figures. I know a lot of people do that. I go as far as a hairdryer. Okay, so let's say you want to go beyond a hairdryer, though, and bring this figure back. You can try to put her in boiling water, but now you're like, are boiling plastic? I don't know if that's a good thing to do. You know what I mean? What kind of chemicals are coming out of that? I just don't know. Some of you, please comment. How do you bring back a syrup-filled figure, especially if the syrup has hardened? I think there's some hardened syrup in her arms. I don't know if she's coming back. Anyway, what I found interesting about the sand is that I don't have that same concern. You don't have to really bring sand back. You want the plastic materials, I don't know if it's plastic, whatever the hell the materials these are, to be warm. Okay, materials like this always works better warm, right? So you want to do that, but still, once you go, boom, there you go. This has been hanging around for a while. Gargoyle has been hanging around for a while. Look at that. And let's get that head. So much fun. Let's look at a werewolf. I don't forget what series this one. This might have been series 1. Werewolf or Wolfman. What was he called? Is he listed here? Oh, no, he's not listed on this one. So he must have been maybe series 1. This might have been a series 1 werewolf. Or wait a second. Is this even a Monster Flex? The problem is I bought some, I think they were called Beast Battles. Is this Beast Battles? Oh, I can't read it. I can't read it. It's so close. Anyway, I may be mistaken. This may not be Monster Flex. But anyway, the last figure we're going to be looking at here today. Yeah. They've all been so cool. All these Monster Flex are just loads of fun. And I really mean that. I just have a great time with them. I think I really enjoy the tangibility, the tactileness. The more our lives become digital, the more I don't want to be digital. Like here we are, right? Here I am online. Here you are online. But I like to unplug a lot. I want to touch the earth. I want to look at the sky. So when it comes to tactileness and tangibility, I really love it. It's at an all-time high for me and probably only going to increase. So the last figure I don't know why I went on that tangent. I don't know. All right, now we're going to go look at. Okay, the reason that we're ending on this one is because this one is a glow in the dark. So I'm going to see if we can give it some light. Give this guy some light. And then we're going to close the video on a glow in the dark. This is Series 2 Zombie. Got some cool brains there. Look at those brains. Yeah, this is Series 2 glow in the dark, along with the slime monster is the zombie. So let's give him some more light. You know what? Let me put this back on my head. Once you go headlamp, you never go back. For those of you who are experienced with a headlamp, they're just there's no going back to having to hold a flashlight. That's just so 2023. It's so 2008. You're 2000 and late. I forgot that lyric. There he goes. Let me turn this off for a second. Oh, those brains look really cool. Look at the brains. Oh, there we go. Look at those brains. You know what? They look better in real life than on the camera. But there is the zombie. Let's stretch the head. Let's stretch the brains. Oh, you could stretch the brains. That is cool. That is cool. See, you can't do that if it's a hard plastic head. That's why I like these things. You can stretch every part of them. So satisfying. So satisfying. Okay, let's give him a little more light. Let's give him some light. You know what? I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to go bigger light over here. I'm going to hold him against a more powerful light here on the side. Give him some more light. Oh, I think it's working. You know what, guys? This is going to be a nice close. Stay tuned for just a few moments, and we're going to see the zombie getting some light. So what you are doing, I don't know if you're not familiar with glow-in-the-dark figures, essentially you have to charge them. The best thing to do is to leave something glow-in-the-dark out in the sun all day. If you leave it out in the sun all day, that's the best. But, if you're in a pinch, you put it in front of a bright light, and it essentially absorbs the light. I don't know the tech or science behind it. But that's what happens. So what we're going to do is, I think that's probably good. We're going to turn out the lights, folks. We're going to turn out the lights. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you very much. Happy Halloween, everybody. Go out and get some Monster Flex stretchy figures. Go out and do it. Okay, here we go, guys. Monster Flex. The lights are off. Well, the screen is still there. The light from the screen. It's kind of cheating, isn't it? But yeah, that's true. But anyway, here he is. He is still... There you go. You can see from there. See? He does glow. He's got a pretty good glow, too. Some of these companies, like I know NECA released, what was it, the recent glow-in-the-dark Frankenstein, glow-in-the-dark mummy. But what they do is I think they kind of spray them with some sort of, is it iridescent? They spray them with something. It's not like the materials are actually made from that. Whereas I feel like the materials here are actually made of the glow-in-the-dark materials as opposed to just, a coat. You know what I mean? Anyway, there we go, guys. Happy Halloween.